Beyond the Gaze project was funded by the Economic and Social Research Council, started in September 2015, running to the end of 2018. The project is essentially looking at how digital technologies, the internet, has affected the sex industry. We are looking at working practices of sex workers, we're looking at policing in relation to regulation, and generally looking at safety issues in relation to how sex work online happens.
It's a really important project because that sector of the sex industry has been historically under-researched in the UK and internationally, despite it being the largest sector.
The project has created the largest data set, certainly in the UK, if not beyond. With sex workers, we have a survey of 641 sex workers. Also customers, a survey of 1,300 responses. We also interview police, over 16 police forces. We have interviewed web platform providers and people involved in advertising. We're making sure essentially that we've covered a 360-degree view of what's happening online in relation to the sex industry.
We found that for the majority of sex workers who took part in the research, that online and digital technology gave them a lot of tools to enhance safety and felt that it was really important for their safety.
So many people involved in the survey used the internet in order to make their work a lot more flexible in terms of working different hours, not necessarily working as many hours as they possibly would before the internet came along.
In terms of crime experienced by sex workers in the online sector, our research found lower levels of physical assaults and sexual violence than reported in studies, for example, of street sex work. But we found relatively high levels of digitally facilitated crimes, such as online harassment.
There are various impacts in relation to creating a whole set of knowledge, new knowledge around the state of the online sex industry in the 21st century. We have these huge data sets which essentially tell us more information than we've had in a long time. It's created these large surveys covering all genders, female, male, transgenders. Not many surveys have covered so many people. So we think there's a whole body of knowledge there which has contributed not only to academic knowledge but also practitioner knowledge as well. Part of the project was around developing tools for practitioners, so this concept of net reach, which is about creating digital tools and other bespoke tools for contacting sex workers through health projects essentially. We've created good practice guidelines there and also a safety resource with lots of input from practitioners and also from sex workers and the sex work community. These are some of the legacies, if you like, which will be implemented throughout the life of the project and beyond. We're working very closely with our partners, the National Ugly Mugs. They've been a key partner right from the start in order to take forward some of the recommendations and talk more as the project ends, talk essentially to policymakers, taking forward our ideas around improving safety and law reform.
The Beyond the Gaze project really wouldn't have happened without the support and contribution of hundreds of sex workers, alongside other groups as well. And we're really proud to have been part of that and work with all those people to create this landmark project and contribute to the knowledge in this field.